Hello, first grade. Today we are making art inspired by the book The Rainbow Fish. As you can see, I have my rainbow fish. It looks a little boring because all it is a drawing of my rainbow fish, some bubbles, and the ground. I also have some rainbow crayons and a pen close by. Let me show you why this project is really special. When we take our paper that is actually folded, we open it up, you first see a whole bunch of crayon, and on the other side is our printed rainbow fish looking all rainbow. Now the secret to this project, it's a printing technique that we use. When we print, we actually lay down a large layer of crayon down here. Then, when we draw our rainbow fish, you can do it any way you'd like. I drew it this way. We press really hard, which then presses through this paper and touches that waxy rainbow underneath in crayon, which makes that rainbow fish on this side. Whoop. So I'm not going to read the story, The Rainbow Fish. I'm going to connect it to the activity on Seesaw, so you can go ahead, click on that. As a quick beginning to this project, I'd like you to listen to the story, think of all the illustrations and the message that the author is trying to tell you, and then come on back to this video and we're going to gather our supplies. So let's review our materials. I have a blank piece of paper, a regular pen, a rainbow selection of crayons, and you will also need a pencil for drawing. I know you first see the fish, but we're not going to draw the fish first. We're actually going to fold our paper, and then I'm going to tell you how we color on the inside. I'm going to move my teacher example over here. Whoop. And let's get started. We first need to fold our paper down. This is also called a hamburger fold. So I take one side, I meet the bottom. I don't want it long ways, I want it folded down like a hamburger. And I seal that crease by just moving my finger up and down. And now it kind of looks like a greeting card or a card you would receive. Here's how we do our printing technique. We're actually going to color with crayon on the inside. We're going to leave this blank for now. We don't need to draw our fish yet. This part can get very, very tiring because we need to color our rainbow on the entire half piece of our paper. This is important that we press down so you have a nice waxy, completely colored in area. This is gonna take some time. This is the longest part of our project. Also, we're gonna review our rainbow. I know you guys know your rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. You can add pinks, you can add different shades of blue if you'd like. Up to you, but we need to cover this entire white block with crayon. It's important that it's crayon too. Don't use clear pencils or markers, guys, or it will not do that printing technique where we make the rainbow fish impression. You can do the color striped like this, or you can do it across the page normally. I'm going to do that for this one, where I'm going to lay down a stripe of red. I'm going to color, and I make sure I press down hard so I have no white spaces. We're only doing half the page. You don't have to worry about coloring on that other half of the greeting card fold. Whew, my hands are really, they're sore from coloring so much. So if you just colored as much as I did, go ahead, give your hands a wiggle, stretch them out. If you need to go take a break, go take a walk, use the restroom, and then come on back for the final step of this project. All right, if you are back, what I did is I made rainbow stripes of crayon across my paper. You could have also done it that other way, that diagonal line, or the horizontal line that goes across the middle. Now, I did add pink and I added a couple different shades of blue because I have all those crayons. You guys, please try to stick to rainbow so it looks like the rainbow fish. But if you would like to do any colors you have, or maybe just your few favorite colors, you can also do that. It's important we are using crayon and that when you feel that crayon layer that you colored, it feels smooth because that's the secret to our transfer. Let's close our paper now. I reseal it by just mushing that corner together. And now I know that my rainbow's on the inside. I'm going to draw on the very front of it. This is where my rainbow fish is going to go. I want to make sure it looks like an aquarium though, so I want to make sure that it is this way, it is long ways, or horizontal. This is where we're first going to use our pencil. And then we're going to trace it in pen because the pen has that pointy tip that's going to help us mush the picture of the fish into that rainbow layer of crayon behind it. So let's think about the shape of a fish. A fish is an oval shape. See that long oval of the body? We're going to start there. Go ahead, please take your pencil and let's draw an oval. Remember, I'm going to draw with marker so you can see it a lot better because you can't see my pencil very well. All right, first grade, let's draw that oval. We want that fish to be nice and big. Once you've got your oval, there's a few things I like to add first. Those are the fins. These fins almost look like leaves coming off of the top and the bottom and the back of our fish. That helps that fish swim. So I'm going to draw some fins. You can make them into like longer triangles, almost looking like petals. And then I like to draw some lines that go from the body of the fish all the way to the tip of their fin. We now need to make an eye and a mouth. For the eye, I like to make a big circle. You can add eyelashes if you'd like. And then the mouth are two lips. Those are two little ovals sticking out of the top of his mouth. Now we got to think of those scales, and scales are like little rainbow lines kind of bouncing along in a row. I then want to make another row of scales that touch the top of the scales before it and bunny hops out. So I make sure my pencil is on the top of that loop, and I go to the other loop, and I bunny hop, bunny hop, bunny hop. I need to make this for his whole body. So go ahead, take a moment, and draw the rest of the scales on your rainbow fish. All right, so now that I've got the body of my fish with all those scales, here's the fun part. We get to kind of decorate around our fish. I made some bubbles, and I made the sandy floor of the aquarium that we're making. Let's make some circles for the bubbles coming out of his mouth. And the floor is a wavy line. If you'd like to add some seaweed, you can. I did make some polka dots on the floor, so it looks like sand. Here's some seaweed. And there we go. So guys, now that our drawing is here, we're not going to see the transfer just yet. We have to make, we have to make sure that all of the lines that we just drew press really hard into the paper, and that's what's going to transfer it to the rainbow and make a new rainbow fish from the crayons. This is a technique called printmaking. We talk about it now, but we'll do other printmaking techniques when you guys are in the higher grades, like 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. This is an awesome way to get us familiar with the technique. So let's do the final step of this project, and that is to take your pen, and if you don't have a pen, you can use a sharp pencil. We're going to hold down our paper and outline all of our lines. We want this pen to push in the already drawn lines, and you'll see the surprise that you're going to see after we are done outlining. It's also nice to use a blue pen after you drew in pencil, because you'll see that everything turns blue after you outline it. Anything you don't outline might not transfer. So what I like to do, especially for my bubbles, I just outline it a few times. So I go 1, 2, 3, and I move on to other places. So I'm going to go a little quick for this. I'm going to outline all of my scales, all the fins, all of the sand, bubbles, everything on my paper, and then hit play again when you're ready for the surprise inside. All right, so I outlined all of my lines. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to color some spaces. That's going to have a bigger rainbow on the picture behind it. So I'm going to choose a couple scales and I'm just going to color it in with my pen. I'm still pressing really deep into my paper so that I can see all of these colors on the other side. I'm choosing, maybe I'll do 4 of them, just like how in the story Rainbow Fish gives his scales to other fish. We're going to really show those rainbow scales. If you'd like to go in and add some more details, maybe you want to put some polka dots on your sand, you can put some polka dots on your sand. I might color in his eye too. There we go. Maybe some lines on the bubbles. And I think we're ready for the surprise inside. I'm going to put everything off to the side. Now I have my outlined fish, and I'm going to take the edge and open it up. Ooh, and you might hear some cracking. And when I open it up and I flip it over, now we have a print of our rainbow fish. And it already has turned it rainbow. I can kind of see where my crayon indented or transferred onto my fish. How much fun. You can always go back in and color in different places. Like if you'd like to color in some more seaweed or add some more dots, you can always go in and do that now. So even if I close it and I reseal it, I can always color in more on this side to get a different color on this side. All right, guys, I can't wait to see your finished product on Seesaw.